Alright, look at that. That fire's been burning, smoldering for 24 hours, and it's been raining all day. I just threw a couple new pieces of wood on it, and it flamed up a little bit. But pretty impressed to keep a fire going through the rain all day. But I digress. Come with me to the back side of the barn. Today I'm going to do a review on the Land Pride RTR 1266 tiller. Reverse tiller, I think, is the proper terminology for it. A couple nice features I've learned about this through reading the manual is that these adjustments on the 3-point hitch, you could offset it, and they do recommend not offsetting more than 7 inches to the left or right so that you don't damage the drive shaft. It is quick hitch compatible. It has some height adjustable shoes there, so you can determine the depth that you want to till at. I had used it just as is. I didn't bother adjusting that. And here's the rear. Well, I can't think of the proper name. I'll call it the chute adjustment. Purpose of this is to determine how fine you want your soil. I tilled with it right open because I know I have a lot of rocks, and I was really concerned about doing damage from some of the rocks I was getting. I think after a while, maybe next year, there'll be less rocks as I pick them out, and I'll be able to put this down if I want. But the purpose of it is when it's down, soil stays in there longer and will be finer, and with it open as it is, the soil will not be as fine. It will be coarser. Come to the other side here. It does have a stand there that's I had forgotten to put up, and hence twisted it and ripped it off. So when you do have a part, you're supposed to have it on the stand there, and when you do hook it up, remember to put it away, otherwise you'll be replacing it, as per my experience. But I've only used it once, and very impressed with it. I'll show you the video that we took of me actually using it. Now, I don't have any other tilling experience to compare this to any other brand of a PTO driven tiller. I did try and till the garden last year with a walk behind unit, and it went all right, but nothing compared to what this can do. Very impressive. Like I say, I was concerned about the amount of rocks I have in my garden, what it might do to this machine, but it was fine. I could hear them clumping and stuff and banging around, but didn't do any damage to the machine, didn't bend any tines, didn't use any shear pins or anything like that. Very impressed. Not sure if I said that yet. Might have been the third time I said that, but... And that's the machine I use it on. B2650. Just so you know what I have it driving, but you'll see that in the upcoming segment. Okay, so that part I was at a loss for words for is the rear deflector. And you can adjust it closer to the ground to produce fine soil, or leave it up to produce coarse soil. And of course, as I mentioned, I left it up because of the rocks in my garden.
What?
Alright, freshly tilled garden. Man, that machine works well. It was hard packed and now it's like sand. A lot of rocks, but some big boulders. And didn't bog the machine down at all, didn't do any damage to the machine. A couple of those I picked out. Could get into tight spaces by backing in. Didn't think I'd be able to get into there close to these bushes, but got some strawberries growing there, so I left it. So yeah, first time I used this machine, I got it last year. Too late in the season for tilling. I didn't till in the fall. The Land Pride RTR 1266. It's a reverse tilling machine. You know, I just hooked it up and started tilling. I didn't look at making any adjustments. I'll pleased with what I've done there. Well, I'll look to see if there's any adjustments I can make on the depth or the height that'll make it better. I left this open instead of having it down so it wouldn't get plugged up with soil. I'll have to research what kind of difference that'll make. Pretty happy with it. I was able to level off the garden area pretty well with this. Impressed. Good machine. Wish I had more use for it.